Now, most academic libraries are already, they already collect research metrics and impact data and have access to impact measurement tools, making them well positioned to demonstrate faculty scholarship impact on funding decisions, promotion and tenure processes, and strategic planning. Now, like many academic libraries, the libraries are made up of multiple departments across multiple library locations on multiple campuses. Each unit here began to work with impact reporting in different ways before coming together to discuss how the work overlapped. So clockwise from the top left is Jason Bozar. He is our the head of our scholarly communications team. Then Matt Torrance and Allison Simulovic are in our research and instruction area, providing liaison services to different departments on campus, so different college departments. And then I am Leanna Schmidt. I'm the director of our Integrated Research and Impact Services Department, the newest department in the library, specifically created to help connect impact reporting and faculty and research and grant proposals and all of that fun stuff. So a little bit about where we work for context. USF has 3 campuses in and around the Tampa Bay area. So that's Central Florida, even though we are titled the University of South Florida. Yeah. There are approximately 50,000 students and 2,500 faculty members. More than 160 distinct schools and departments are situated across about 14 colleges across all 3 campuses.
And we are AAU and R1, so
Yeah.
just to give context.
Now, USF has a few research tracking platforms, including Scopus and Web of Science. And then we are working on acquiring Altmetrics Explorer. Now, these resources are provided and administered primarily by the libraries. We were fortunate enough to group together with other university departments, including our USF World Department for Global Studies and our Office of Research, to arrange payment for the analytics modules of both the Elsevier and Clarivate products. So we have SciVal and we have Insights. And then our Office of Research also uses academic analytics, which is provided and administered by the Office of Research and is connected in a way to our faculty information system. The main point here is that
Kind of.
none of the services provided with these platforms are really coordinated in any real way before we're sort of getting started on this.
Okay. So, should we switch places?
Yeah.
Okay. Song and dance. So a lot of this all started with a LibGuide. In 2023, I'm Allison Simulovich, by the way. I just have a different hair color from that photo. But Matt Torrance and I, in Research and Instruction, had a LibGuide that we inherited from some prior librarians that needed a major overhaul. So in 2023, we redid the whole thing to focus really on article, author, and journal level metrics. We do have a section on departmental metrics, but that wasn't our initial focus. It was really to focus on article, journal, and researcher levels. So anyway, we did a lot of changes. I'm kind of speeding through this, but we did focus groups using a mini grant that we got in the library. We basically wanted to know if our changes to the LibGuide were making an impact on researcher level of understanding with regard to metrics. So this is just a graph that we came up with using in vivo. I hate in vivo, never want to use it again. But we are having an article about this that is currently being revised. So yay. Thank you. But anyway, we had some subsequent changes at USF. A new department was created, Leetta's area, which she's going to go into. And basically, we had a lot of data, and we were trying to figure out what to do with this data. We wanted to start with the data we had before we jumped into data we could acquire. So more assessment. We did a survey of, we sent it out to I think 1,000 faculty members on campus. And we wanted to see if what we were doing was making sense after what we did with the outcomes we got from the focus groups. And we wanted to increase marketing of our services. But if you have questions about the survey, just let me know. I don't want to bore you with numbers. So
the dance is part of the show. Now, I've mentioned that each unit had started working independently on developing services and techniques for helping faculty report on impact. Now, when we came together to collaborate, all of our work sort of fell into these complementary areas. So Iris, my new department, was working on services specifically for the faculty, researcher, individual, and how they could communicate their impact, but also understand what the numbers used to capture their impact meant, so they could speak with their directors, with administration. Our impact working group in research and instruction were focusing on college, school, and department metrics to help chairs and directors communicate the impact of their departments to administrators and to the university president. And then the Digital Commons repository team was helping with providing metrics that are embedded within Digital Commons, which is our repository, on collections that had been deposited there. Now, for the individual researcher, in developing the template we have for the individual researcher reports, we scoured peer libraries, examples that were out there on the web. We looked into suggestions from faculty researchers, had our one-on-one talks, and also took advantage of developmental opportunities like SciVal certification to create this base template. Now, equally important to the template, something that's not shown is at the bottom, we include a glossary that has an explanation for what every single metric means, so that the faculty member can take this report away and not be caught on the, well, what does that mean in comparison? Now, I will say part of this has been the one-on-one research conversations. In the beginning, we talk with faculty to understand exactly what they need. The template does a heavy lift. It's huge, but we don't use it all for all faculty. We know that faculty in education put much more importance on acceptance rates in journals than, say, faculty in pharmacy. So we move out pieces that don't apply to the faculty member that we're working with.
So like I said, I'm part of the research and instruction working group. So we're looking at it more at the macro level. We are looking at college, school, and departmental reporting. So this is where SciVal comes into play for us. This is a screenshot of the template we have. We are doing one-page summaries and it's going to be a fun summer. We have 160 entities on campus that we are going to be creating these one-page summaries for. Sounds like a lot, but the available data and templates created an easy workflow for us. There are 4 of us that will be doing this. We figure it will take about 15 minutes per entity. We do have other obligations for work, so we'll see how much we get done. But we also do advanced bibliometric database consultations. So basically, we're sending these out proactively to then have meetings with departmental, chairs, etc., to go into the detail. And Iris, like Leetta was saying, is focusing on the individual faculty, but we are focusing on the macro level. So, I used to be the manager of our repository. Fun thing, we had 2 iterations of Digital Commons because we were 3 campuses. But now we have 1 iteration of Digital Commons, but I became a social sciences librarian, so hooray. But basically, we do a lot with download and geographic engagement. I'm sure you all know Digital Commons. We pull social media stuff through Plumex, so I'm really excited to see the integration of media into SciVal. So, yes. Oh, me too. Okay. Unit level reporting. So annual, like I said, college level reporting, big report, then we're getting narrowed down. We are looking at benchmarking across departments. So we are trying to identify peer and aspirational institutions at the departmental level, which is interesting. We've just had some of this going on with our women, sexuality and gender studies group, which we're in Florida. We are not allowed to use state funding for that program anymore. So we use foundation money. So we are trying to find peers that are doing the same thing, which is a little hard. And then basically dealing with scalability and what resources we're using. So educating people on where the metrics come from and what we can do in the future of that. So, oh, okay. Well, this is fun. Sorry, our slides are slightly different than what I had. But for example, this is one that we did for engineering. This is using SciVal. We pulled the one-shot screen, one-page summary, that's the word. And we had a meeting with engineering. They wanted us to explain it. So we actually talked to a group on a workshop, basically, and included the liaison librarian for engineering. So we have an engineering librarian, and he basically coordinated all of this, which was wonderful. What I thought was interesting was yesterday in the SciVal workshop, we were looking at open access. Well, at the meeting that we had with engineering, they were asking about how do we increase citation count? And I said, open access, correlation at least. So yesterday, I was helped with, yes, I was heavily helped with basically pulling metrics for open access articles within engineering, but then also looking at non-open access, and there was a correlation with regard to citation count being higher for engineering publications with open access. So, yes. Okay.
And as far as building awareness and demand, obviously from an institution that has so many platforms, there is a demand. But I think the awareness is kind of lacking. We found that using our existing newsletter and email services to provide just little snippets is helpful to get to those consultations and those meetings, because the topic is so complex. You really need to be in a room discussing these things with people. One of the best ways that we've gotten to reaching out to faculty and department heads has been connecting with our Office of Research and the various units within who don't provide these services, but are connecting other services like scoping out honors and awards possibilities based on previous research metrics. Now, I would say, from my perspective, demonstrating library value to administration is coming most saliently through word of mouth. We're playing the long game because it's so important to have those meetings and talking directly with people to explain the complex topic. It's going a lot slower than being able to do an email blast that everybody understands. So in order to, we just have to keep sort of hammering at it. And then by the time somebody hears about the service again, they'll know, oh, wait, no, I know that person and I know this service and we need them in our office now. And hopefully it will just continue to build. Now our challenges. The first thing I always like to bring up is that we already had jobs. So we already had a lot of responsibilities prior to launching this new collaborative service that we still needed to keep floating. The templates are really doing a lot of heavy lifting. We have had to take it a little bit slower on building the foundations. But our goal is also to keep each report at a manageable time frame. And to just accept that it's going to take a little bit longer to expand the services as we go forward.
Okay, so thank you. It's been really fun trying to explain to people that the physical sciences have better numbers. I work on the social sciences side. The humanities are there. I hate to say it that way, but I try to help, but books are really hard. It's interesting the discussions we're having with the social sciences to figure out, like, field rated citation impact is amazing. They're like, oh, but my H index is low. Well, is it low compared to your peers? Is the journal or the journal factors higher or lower compared to other journals in your area, not, looking at Nature. Understanding, we're also looking at like various amount of knowledge from the people that we're sending this information to. So some people love numbers. That is not the case in the social sciences. That is just, they are not numbers people except for the economists, which don't count. We're trying to standardize reporting. So we have the glossaries. We want to give faculty members autonomy over their knowledge and their metrics, their profiles, name affiliations. Oh my God. University of South Florida, USF, South Florida, US Florida. So anyway, we're trying to get everyone to just use University of South Florida, not a campus location just University of South Florida. And then, increasing outreach and working with liaison librarians to be the first point of contact. Then they refer out to either, like I said, us or me and Matt with regard to departmental level, or Lieta with regard to faculty individual aspects. So, how are we doing? This is a lot. And it's really hard to manage expectations. So Leanna already touched on that a little bit, but flexibility is key. We have a lot of cross training. We've done certifications. It helps that I've managed digital commons repository. So if Jason can't do something, then, if he's not there, I at least understand what we're talking about. We're not sure about scalability yet. We haven't done this. We've done one-offs for colleges or departments that ask for this information, but we haven't done all 160 departments yet. We want to provide those in the summer so that departments can work with future grants, funding, etc. With regard to rankings, everything. We want to get it in summer so that they are ready in the fall. We also don't know with Iris. Word of mouth. One faculty member is really excited. Then 10 of their coworkers show up, and I'll expect something by the end of, tomorrow.
At the same time as well, because promotion and tenure processes happen also over the summer. So that is when they normally come to us.
Yes, and Florida has a fun thing called post-tenure review. So we are not sure how that's going to impact as well. Training needs to evolve. We have to work with our liaison librarians so that they understand what they're talking about, who to go to, what they can provide versus what we can provide. They have to have some understanding. For instance, our business librarians, the F50 is really important for business journals. They're niche subject experts. But we are here for the even more in-depth.